Hey, hi, my name is Chris. Every day I do a vlog and I do it for 1,000 days. So if you could like, subscribe, or maybe hit that bell notification, or maybe hype my video, that would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Every day I talk about something uniquely different. And today, if your enemy is in the middle of making a mistake, don't interrupt them. I heard that phrase the other day. And I think we've all had people who have, that we would regard have done us wrong, who are somebody that we would call an enemy, somebody that we are very much against because of how they behave to us, maybe what they've said to us. But the whole premise really of this video is about if you see them making a mistake, do you interrupt them and stop them from making that mistake, knowing full well that they are somebody that is injurious to you? Now, that is a dilemma, isn't it? It's a principled dilemma. Do you intervene? Do you let them fail? Do you say something? Do you let them crash and burn? Do you say something which could change the course of their conduct or behavior, knowing full well that they've done something so epic against you that you could change the course of their behavior by intervening, but they've done things so many times to you that you just feel that the best outcome is to leave it to God, let God decide. And I think sometimes that's not a bad space to occupy. Two wrongs don't make a right. They don't. My mum used to say that sometimes, to which I used to reply, two rights make an aeroplane. And then she used to give me a clip around the ear for being cheeky. But it was a funny exchange that we had. But in life, you find yourself in this position sometimes. Sometimes you find yourself in a position where somebody who has done you wrong, maybe on multiple occasions, and on this one particular occasion, you have the foresight, you have the ability to be able to look ahead and see where it's taking them. They are your enemy, and you feel like it's necessary to not say a word, to let them continue to make the mistake. And if you give somebody that, the benefit of your wisdom, your foresight, is it necessarily going to make them a better person? I would probably argue and say not. If they repeatedly have been horrible to you, and therefore they occupy the space of being your enemy, then I guess the only outcome is for you to just leave it to fate. And maybe doing that might actually teach them a lesson. It's funny, isn't it? I've reflected more on my childhood recently and about some of the lessons that I learned. And some of these things have trickled over into my life. Being raised as a Christian in a very sort of Catholic upbringing, where my mum made us all attend church, and I think when you go to a Catholic school, you hear some of the workings of the Bible, and you understand that this can resonate sometimes throughout your life. I find myself saying some things more as an adult, but recognizing it, because I guess these issues and things were ingrained in me when I was younger. So it's something that I heard the other day about when people do you wrong, try and do them right, try and turn the other cheek. So there's lots of reasons why you wouldn't want to, especially if they've been horrible to you. And identifying those reasons and making things right, I think, is necessary in life. But I talked about this before, where people, if they're injurious to you all the time and they cause you problems, and when you see them in the middle of making a very big mistake, do you give them the benefit of your wisdom? Do you intervene and redirect them? And the problem with doing that is that sometimes they won't see that as a redirection. They won't like it. They don't like being told, and they certainly regard you as an enemy because they're so quick to regard you as being less than them, and it's easier for them to be injurious to you. So there is a risk of trying to redirect them. They may see that as further annoyance, hindrance, whatever you want to call it. They may see it as that. So, do you intervene? Well, it depends on what they've done, first of all. It depends on how they behaved, what they've said, what's gone on. But I think it's necessary sometimes to take a step back. If you've tried to help, if you've tried to intervene previously, then ultimately there is that old thing, isn't it? If they're not listening, then you've just got to stop talking. You have to. You've got to protect your own peace, your own way of the world. And if that's something that you can do, then do that. Protect your peace, protect your world. But you could have a front row seat to them failing in an epic way. Now, I don't suggest for a second that glorifying that and enjoying their failure as being a joyous thing. I'm somebody that's an optimist who will always look at a glass and see it half full. I never see it half empty. I have had challenges in my life, and I've had moments where I've genuinely wanted to pursue a different course. But I've been guided by the fact that, I guess based on my Christian upbringing and the fortitude that I've had from my mum's wisdom, and I've been very, very lucky and able to sort of steer my life in I would say a decent way, a righteous way. And in life, you will get people that will do you wrong. You just will. It's a fact. And they will trespass against you. There you go. There's another one. All these biblical terms. But what I would say is that people will do you wrong, and they will be horrible. And if they are horrible, then how you deal with that is entirely up to you. Very often when somebody is horrible, I find the most powerful thing ever is to say nothing, to do nothing. When they prod the bear, when they poke the bear, when they try and get a reaction, that provocation can lead to you instantly feeling anger and wanting to stop that intrusion on your peace. But sometimes it's necessary to just say nothing, not respond. When you give fuel to anger, it's, I guess for me, I've always felt like it's a bit like momentum. It will continue and continue and continue. But in the face of provocation, if you can turn the other cheek and walk away and not respond, not even slightly, that for me is absolute sheer power. It says that you are above and beyond that provocation. So when you do that, I think it puts you in a position of strength. It's up to you, isn't it? You decide how you want to respond to something. So when you see somebody that's injurious against you, is horrible, and has shown you nothing but complete disdain, and you see them making a mistake, it's up to you whether you intervene or not. And depending on what the situation is, depending on what they've said, how they've reacted, what they've done, well, that is completely up to you how you react. I think if you've been down the road before with them, I probably would suggest not saying anything. And maybe you might have a front row seat to the fallout, which will occur. And it will take time. It may take time. You may have to bide your time and view it from a distance. But you may feel the repercussions of that by not saying anything, and they fall on their sword. Well, it wouldn't give me joy to see them do it, but sometimes it's necessary for people to learn a lesson, and if they learn it through their own actions, doing their own thing, which is wrongful, then maybe they'll get something from that. So to finish on a biblical term, I think it says somewhere in the Bible where Jesus said something like, Father, they know not what they do. Well, all these powerful biblical phrases, they still resonate today, I think. After all, a lot of what's there is about the human condition. As you know, I'm not religious. I am spiritual, and I do believe in a God. I feel that you have to give people sometimes the opportunity to fail, because maybe that's where their growth lies. And it's not being cruel. It's allowing them to see where they are. And maybe that might be a turning point for them. And some people need to fail over and over again in the most monumental way. And the key for you is not being sucked into the provocation. Anyway, thank you so much. Like I say, that one phrase, I heard it on the radio, and it really sort of made me feel like I just kind of had to talk about just that one thing. So if you could like, subscribe, or give me a hit that bell notification, or give me a hype on this video, that would be absolutely amazing. This is part of my 1000 days series, and I'll be back again tomorrow with something uniquely, completely different. I'd be very interested to know what your comments are below. On that note, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.